Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Anthony. So I've been jonesing for some yard sales lately. I've never been much of a yard sale guy, but spending the last 3 months catching up on everyone's yard sale videos from last year, I really want to give them a shot this year. But when I checked this weekend, because the weather here can't decide between 30 degrees and 60 degrees, there weren't many, if any, options at all as far as yard sales go. So I was kind of hoping a quick flea market trip could scratch that itch. So I hit up my favorite indoor flea market, and when I was editing the 45 minutes of footage, I got it down to about 15 minutes and realized it was just so boring. I was putting myself to sleep. I mean, there's only so many times I can show you overpriced tchotchkes or failed Amazon private label return pallets without expecting you to click off the video. Now, I did pick up a couple decent things and I wanted to show them to you, so I struggled with it overnight trying to figure out a way to salvage this footage, and the only solution I could come up with was, it's time to roast this hellhole. Now, I realize I talk a big game, but I understand the places I source at, it's not their business to make me money. In fact, when I was a pawnbroker and resellers would argue with me over price, notice I said argue and not negotiate, my go-to line was, it's not my problem if you can't make money off my products. That being said, I do want to keep these videos interesting, so I couldn't, in good conscience, expect my amazing viewers to sit through 15 minutes of boring footage of me just wandering around a flea market. So I figured I would cut it up a little more, show you some of the highlights, some of the lowlights, some of the hits, and some of the misses. I have no idea how it's all going to turn out, but let's go ahead and give it a shot. Alright, so the first thing that you'll notice, it is not a very nice looking place and is not in the best area. But that's okay. To me, dirty usually means money. So we'll head on inside and see if we can find anything right here at the beginning. So the first thing we come across is a case, and it has some video games in it. Now, if you look right there, there is a 3DS with some games. There's a little DS Lite on the other side. However, they were like 70 bucks a piece, and that is way too much. So we're going to leave those behind, and we're going to see if there's anything else. So we're moving along to the other side of the booth, and something just caught my eye, and I didn't notice it when I was there. I do not sell shoes. However, those shoes are super sick. Even though I don't sell shoes, I am a Nike fan, and those are some sort of colorful Jordans, which I would love to wear. I have no idea how much they were, but they are cool looking. But I missed them when I was there, so let's move along. Coming over here. Ooh, some more video games. There is a GameCube, a $65 GameCube in a flea market. No thanks. Let's keep going. Right above that is a Sega Dreamcast, also 70 bucks. Definitely can't make money on that, so we're going to leave that sitting inside that case where it'll probably be forever. Now I come up on a clarinet case, and I have made good money on clarinets, especially sterling silver clarinets. So I open up the case because it was marked at $20. It's an empty case. A dirty, beat up, empty clarinet case for 20 bucks. That is insane. Put that back, moving along. Now here is the reason I loved flea markets even as a kid. Ninja weapons. We have throwing knives, we have nunchucks, we have samurai swords, all that kind of stuff. That stuff is awesome, but it's usually cheap and we're not going to make money on it. But it's still fun to look at. Let's keep going. Now we just came up on my first find of the day. It's this little 35mm film cartridge case. It kind of looks like a VHS clamshell case, but it was $1. Definitely not the best pickup. In fact, when I scanned it into Amazon, there were none available, so I don't really know how to price it. However, I've sold new old stock film cartridge cases before. I usually pay about $1 for them, so that lined up okay, and I sell them for between 15 to 25 bucks. So I went ahead and picked it up for $1 just on the off chance I would end up walking out empty-handed. I wanted to have something. Moving along. Now, one thing I noticed, this flea market is full of mattresses. There's a bunch of mattresses. Here's some more mattresses coming in. Oh my gosh, so many mattresses. Keep going. Too many mattresses. Okay, so now we're heading back to the front of the store, and Elliot spots the candy. I'm sure he's gonna want some. Yep, Elliot's gotta have some candy. That's a cheap way to keep him occupied. So the first thing I notice over here, I'm sure you see it too, that is a Bose, little Bose iPod dock. I've picked these up a lot over the years. Normally I'll see them in thrift stores, kind of overlooked for between $5 and $10. However, I picked this one up and it's marked at 50 bucks. It's in bad shape and there's no remote control. But when I turn around, I do spot something I've talked about before, and that is an under-the-cabinet radio. Now, Hamilton Beach is a brand I've never sold when it comes to this under-the-counter stuff. When I scanned it in, it was ranked at 265,000 in wireless, so that made me nervous. There were 10 3-star reviews. and the lowest price was somewhere in the $150 range. This was marked at $35. I don't think it was new, and I really struggled for like 15 seconds on whether or not I should pick this up. So let's just leave it and see what else we can find. Now this booth right here looks like a carnival with crappy prizes. Oh my gosh, more mattresses. The mattresses are moving, watch out. Now here is another thing that I have talked about before, and that is plastic dinosaurs. This was a bag of plastic dinosaurs for $8, and in a second we're going to see another bag of plastic dinosaurs that was $5. And something tells me I probably should have picked these up. I don't really know what brands they were or how old they were, but for the amount of dinosaurs I would have gotten for $13, I probably should have gotten these. Now this is what I like to call a couponer's booth. Someone definitely put the work in, clipped a bunch of coupons, bought a bunch of stuff for cheap, and they're trying to sell it in a flea market booth. Nothing here that I could probably make money on, but I do admire the hustle. So good job, couponers. Moving along. Oh my gosh, more mattresses. Fast forward, mattresses. Oh my gosh, there's bed frames. Bed frames. Here is some ink, but it is shot as far as the packaging goes, so we're gonna leave that behind. This booth looked interesting because it had computer stuff, but once I got inside, it was all overpriced and it was all super old. So we're gonna leave that behind. We're gonna keep walking. So now I'm tired of looking around, so we're gonna go find my favorite booth, and I'll show you my favorite booth here in just a second, and I'll tell you the problems I have with this booth, as well as what I like about it. Okay, so here we are. Now this is the most beautiful flea market booth I have ever seen. It's full of Nintendo games, it's full of consoles, graphing calculators. The problem is, most of it is locked in a case, and the guy that runs it is only there on the weekends. Almost nothing is priced, especially the stuff inside the cases. The workers at the flea market have no access to his cases. You just kind of have to wait till he's there, ask him on the fly, and he'll make up a price depending on his mood. I spot a couple things right here. Do you see them? They're little Sony digital recorders, so I'm definitely interested in those. So once we get his attention, we'll ask him what kind of price he'll give us and see if we can make any money on them. Yes, mister, how much are these little Sony recorders? Well, let me see, son. I'll do this one for like $5, and I'll do this one for like $7. Oh, gee, mister, would you take 3 and 5? I'll tell you what, I'll meet you at 10. Sold! You got a deal, mister. I'll buy these 2 recorders for $10. Yep, battery compartment looks good. Alright, so we're going to ring those up, and we're going to look at the other case. Look at all these DS games. And down here in the case, I do spot another Sony recorder, so I ask him if he'll take 5 for that one too. But he's on to me now. He knows that I'm probably selling this stuff. So he says, no, that one's $25. So I say, okay, I think I'm done getting good deals from you, so let me just get these for $10. He does not take credit cards, so I have to walk up to the front of the store, use the ATM, pay $3 for an ATM fee, so they actually cost me $13. But I think they were a good deal, and here we are going to the ATM. So let's check out these recorders and see how much they're worth. Alright, so as you saw, I paid $5 a piece for these little Sony digital recorders. This one has kind of a medium rank on Amazon, but the lowest FBA price in used condition is like $38. This one has a very high rank, but there are no FBA offers in used condition. However, the lowest merchant's coming in at about $85, so I figured I could price it similarly, be the only FBA offer, and maybe get a sale that way. So between these and this cartridge case, I'm figuring about $120, $140 in sales value. So, not bad. The dude that runs my favorite booth, I'll try to give him a little more time. Go in there and find a couple more things I want to ask him about before he realizes that I'm going to sell them and he flips a switch. Because he really does have some cool stuff if he would just let it go. So guys, if you like these videos, make sure you lightly tap that little thumbs up button. Leave your comments and questions down below. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It just gives me all the warm fuzzies inside, and I greatly appreciate it. But for now, that is what I got for you. As always, I want to thank you for watching the video, and I will see you next time.